Hi guys, it's me, Kerri. So it is actually my favourite time of the year, and I've done my makeup semi like pumpkin inspired because it's Halloween. I've never really gone into depth about this on my channel. I don't even think I've mentioned it. It might be in a Q&A that's either up or coming up. But I am actually fascinated by the paranormal. So ghosts, spirits, demons, witchcraft. Like, I am obsessed with like paranormal unsolved mysteries. I love it all. And today I wanted to talk about something that I've had for a couple of years. I've never used this particular one, but I have used them before. It's my Ouija board. So this is mine. I have the planchette as well, but that is still in the bag, unused. I don't want it, you know, being used with the board, so that is kept packaged singly by itself. I might even like frame this and put it up in my room. Paul is not keen on that idea, but this is something that I've had for a few years now and has travelled a few houses with me, and Paul absolutely hates it because he thinks that just by having one you've opened yourself up to things, whereas there's nothing connected to this board because it's never been used. So that's where I stand. As long as this board doesn't get used, I don't believe there is anything connected to it. Nothing bad can happen. And I'm going to keep it that way. I'm never going to use it. But I have used Ouija boards before. So the Ouija board is quite simply a way to connect with spirits. Not all of them look like this. You might get some that look more like the traditional movie versions. I'll put a picture up. There's different designs, you know. You could make your own if you're really interested in it, just by writing the alphabet, numbers, hello, goodbye. They are very important, yes and no. But you basically have your form of communication here. Your hello and goodbye, like I said, are very important. You must always end your session by moving your planchette to say goodbye, and then you can even turn your planchette upside down. That signals that is the end. Yes and no, because you'll mainly probably be just asking yes or no questions. The alphabet if you want to know names, numbers if you want to know dates. Pretty simple. I used to go on ghost hunts, and I used to go quite regularly before I got pregnant. Stopped obviously while I was pregnant, and I'm just not in the mindset yet to pick it back up, especially after my last one. I had some things happen on that because I'd been going more, so I had become more open to experiences. On my last one I had an experience that I wasn't particularly happy about, so I stopped. That was also one of the reasons I stopped, and I'm just not sure I want to go back yet. But I have seen boards being used at many like ghost hunts. So I've been to abandoned hospitals, abandoned orphanages, castles, that all have like a supernatural history to them. I've been to underground bunkers, Draco tunnels. That's actually a pretty good one. I'd love to go to there is a house that the Warrens went to in the UK, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I would love to go there. They've just opened it up, and you can do like nights over. There's also a hotel that's pretty close to me that I might book a night in the haunted room there. One of the rooms is very haunted, but I might book that just as my own little experiment. So when I'm at ghost hunts, typically there's lots of people using them, and I can never really be sure if someone else is pushing the board. I want to put my hand up as well and say here that if you don't believe in this sort of stuff, that is cool. You don't need to stop around. Don't be a dick about it because people like me do believe in it. You know, we're all allowed to believe different things, and I happen to believe spirit boards work. Some people might think that makes me an idiot, but whatever. So, one question I get asked a lot when I say I've used spirit boards is, has anything bad or scary ever happened to you? And honestly, while I've used a board, no. I've never had like the demon come through, or the devil, or Zozo, or whatever you want to say. I did once experience a very persistent spirit who kept asking a medium to help guide him on, but it was like it basically just wanted to take over. It wanted to possess the medium. So that's probably about as scary as I've seen it get. It wasn't very scary. Like, there was other mediums in the room that were like, no, you're not a nice spirit, you know, please vacate. And they ended the session. So yeah, I've never personally had anything bad happen. The most spooky I got was in a abandoned, it was a hospital, then it turned, like, no, it was a hospital children's orphanage. I can't remember which way around it went, but whatever. The most spooky experience I've had was I was singly by myself in a room doing, I can't remember what they call it, but basically you have a mirror in front of you and you wait to see if the figure of whoever you are talking to appears. And I was by myself with a medium in a room. My friend was in the group doing a Ouija board down the hall and round the corner. And you know, hospitals are huge, so down the hall and round the corner, long way away, can't hear each other. And I kept saying that there was a little girl in this like ward that I was on, and her name began with an S, and she had brown hair. And the medium just kept scoffing me off. It obviously wasn't what she could feel or what she wanted to hear. But so we started to walk back down the corridor towards the other group. And my friend was on the Ouija board with, so she was on one side, another person was on the other side. They both had like fingertip on the planchette, and we'd walk in and they were like, right, we'll wrap this up. We've just been talking to a little girl. She doesn't want to share her name, so we're just going to move on. But then the planchette started moving towards the letter S, and then I think it went into H or something like that. But they cancelled the seance, I suppose they would call it. So they moved to goodbye, said bye, like, we're going to move on, because you're timed in areas when you go on a ghost hunt, so we'd obviously run over anyway. So they ended the spirit, and my friend was like, yeah, not much was happening until like the end, where we got like a little girl and started spelling the letters of the name. And I was like, this is really weird, because I was in that other room away from everyone, kept saying that I could feel a girl whose name began with the letter S, and I couldn't get any more. And then I come back and the Ouija board is spelling out a girl's name with the letter S, and we've never finished, so I never get to know who I was seeing. But that's about as spooky as it's ever got for me. And I feel like I could believe that because my friend is also very... She believes in ghosts and spirits and all of that, but she knows that people will push Ouija board planchettes around. Like, she's not a fool, but the person who was opposite her on the Ouija board is someone I know, and someone I know who doesn't fake that stuff. So take from it what you will, but for me that was about as spooky as it got, because I was like, someone else was having the same experience on a different medium to contact spirits, and there we go. Got very similar results, but we couldn't finish it. So I don't know. That is as spooky as it's got for me. Mostly when I've been around people using Ouija boards, it's like messages from family I've seen a few times. Especially because when you go on a ghost hunt, you want to protect yourself with a protective aura, and a lot of the time they ask you to think of family members that have passed away to protect you. So I have seen a few messages come through from family members. I'm just waiting for my my Amazon delivery, and I thought the guy was coming, but no. So I have seen messages from family members. I've seen spirits come through that answer questions, sort of like when I've been in the hospital and stuff, not a lot is known about it, and we go in with like an open mind, and if we do catch a spirit, we ask questions like, when were you here? Do you mind telling us your name? What did you do here? Was you a patient? Were you a nurse? Were you a doctor? Blah blah blah. Things like this. And then there is a historian fact checker that we can take them to afterwards, and they can corroborate the story. Sometimes they will warn you about particularly violent spirits beforehand, just in case anything like that happens. But like when I've been to Dudley Castle as well, if we've had any spirits come through, we can typically take the information to a historian or a fact checker, and they can like use their local knowledge and history and find out if what messages we were getting were true, whether there was someone with that name in that time period, you know. It's pretty interesting, especially when you get something factual that can be backed up later. And none of the... When I go on ghost hunts, none of the organisers use the Ouija boards. It's all guests. So even if they know of, say, Bob was at this mental hospital during this year, they can't move it to the right information, if that makes sense. If they've been on a visit before and contacted this spirit, they don't use the board. So if we get the same information and then a fact checker comes back and says, yeah, there was a guy, and yeah, he died of what he said he did, and yeah, it was during this year, like, that typically happens a lot on the ghost hunts that I go to. So it's nice to know that the organisers aren't having a sway, and what you get through on the board is real. When I do see things like, die, I'm going to hurt you, blah blah blah, I typically think it's faked, because it tends to happen between a select few friends. I've been involved in a really big Ouija board seance where there's like 10 of us with a finger on, and about 5 of the girls knew each other, and every single question it was, oh, it's for this person, oh, it's for that person, move to a person that you know, and it was always these 5 girls. And it just, it was very much the movie style answers for Ouija boards. So yeah, that led me to believe it wasn't real. However, if you are going to use a Ouija board, please try it with somebody who knows it first, so you can sort of learn how to do it, what is the best way to go about it, and don't ask stupid questions like, are you the devil? Are you evil? Are you going to kill me? Do you want to hurt me? Please come, I open you up. Like, you know, I'm open to spirits, blah blah blah. Don't, you know, don't invite a spirit in, like, to yourself to be possessed. That's a bad move. Don't ask for evil spirits, because you might get a spirit that wants to take the piss out of you. I've had a child come through before that liked to crack jokes, but don't invite the evil, because that is when bad things happen. I don't like when people are like, oh, is there any evil spirits here? First question, like, just don't do it. It's stupid. Like, you don't want something to attach itself to you. Not that I think they will leave places they've been for hundreds of years, but if you're somewhere for a night and it's pitch dark and you're walking around an abandoned hospital like I have, I've known people invite evil spirits and end up cutting their hands on glass and stuff because they've egged a spirit on and said, oh, I don't think you can hurt me. And it happens. So don't taunt, don't ask for bad things to happen, don't ask when you're going to die, don't ask to be hurt, don't invite spirits in to possess you, don't invite them to possess other things in your possession. Like, just don't do it. Like, just be respectful. Ask for facts you can check. Ask if they have a message for anyone, if they're family members. Like, just be nice. Don't be stupid when you use a Ouija board. I know a lot of people want to go straight into like movie scenes that they've seen and it be like the movie Ouija, but it's, yeah, just don't ask stupid questions. It's not like the movies, and if it is, then you're gonna have a bad time. Make sure you say bye and I don't want this anymore, I'm leaving. That's another thing as well. If you have spirits that are evil or happen to be taking the piss out of you because they know you're scared, you can say, I want this to stop. No, you are scaring me. I'm going to leave now. End the seance. Say goodbye. Move your planchette. Turn it over. It's just safer. Don't get involved if it starts getting really bad. Just say goodbye, walk away. I also have seen people fake stuff with a Ouija board. My favourite was, I was with my friend who I always go on ghost hunts with, and I think this person was pushing the board around because it was insisting it was like part of her family and was giving names, and she's very hot on her family history because she's really into all of that. And she was just like, no, I don't have a family member called that. No, I didn't have a family member die from that. But yeah, it was quite funny because it just kept insisting. And then it was just like, kept going to hurt, hurt, hurt. Like, they just kept spelling it out. And I was like, someone is pissing about here, like, wanting to make it more than it is. And she's just like flat, like, no, like, nobody's like that in my family, so no. But yeah, so I do think they can be used in group settings quite responsibly. Like, you're not gonna say like, hi Ouija board, like, moving my planchette over to hello, whatever. You do have to be open to this kind of stuff. If you're very closed off, chances are nothing will happen. Spirits need a hell of a lot of energy from themselves and other people to actually communicate in ways, whether that be through a Ouija board, a spirit box, table tipping, moving shot glasses, whatever. Like, I've seen it all, I've done it all. But yeah, if nothing is happening, you can warm up the planchette, give it some energy. Typically moving it around in circles helps. Just, you know, use the energy that I'm giving to the board. You know, if there's anyone here who wants to send a message, use this energy. Like, that sort of stuff helps. But obviously if nothing happens, nothing happens. And some people will say that's because there's nothing there. People like me who believe in this sort of stuff will say that's because there's not enough energy. some people get very disappointed when nothing happens, but like I lived in a haunted house, a house that I definitely think was haunted and other people thought was haunted, and not everything happens 24/7. So if you expect something to happen every time you bring out a Ouija board, you're probably going to be disappointed. But it's all part of the, maybe not fun, but it's all part of the experience. So if you have any other questions about Ouija boards, write them down below. I might do another video about this. I'll try and answer. And yeah, if you want more videos about my paranormal investigation, not that I really feel like I've investigated a lot, but if you want any more videos about this sort of stuff, I'm thinking of doing more of them. But yeah, want to know about my haunted house that I used to live in? Let me know. Want to know about my terrible experience on my last ghost hunt? Let me know. And yeah, I will get back to you with another video soon, but I thought I'd upload this kind of spooky Halloween one. So yes, I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.